Welcome to The Explainer. Look, if you're in museum curation, gallery direction, or exhibition design, you already know the drill. Your walls, they're held to absolutely uncompromising standards. Every single inch of imagery has to be perfectly faithful to the source material. It needs to install without causing weeks of downtime, and of course, it has to reward really close inspection from your most discerning visitors. So today, we're bringing you an expert look at what we call the direct-to-wall revolution. This is a total paradigm shift, and it's completely changing how cultural institutions across the Northeast are bringing their storytelling to life. Let's dive in.
Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll look at the curatorial standard. Then, we'll break down the direct-to-wall revolution. After that, we're going to dive into archival print quality, walk through the seamless installation process, and finally, wrap up with managing rotating exhibitions.
All right, Section 1. The curatorial standard, meeting the highest gallery demands.
So, to really understand this revolution, we kind of need to define exactly what a custom exhibit mural is today. And right off the bat, forget generic wallpaper. We are talking about made-to-order, absolutely photoreal graphics printed directly onto the gallery wall at true archival quality. The goal here is to reproduce paintings, fine art photography, sensitive archival documents, maps, and really all of your interpretive storytelling, but at an architectural scale. And crucially, this is the game changer, this is achieved without vinyl, without frames, and with zero mounting hardware. The image literally bonds straight to the surface. It just becomes an organic part of the gallery architecture.
Moving right along to Section 2, the direct-to-wall revolution, the old way versus the new way.
When we objectively sit down and contrast legacy vinyl and framed media against modern direct-to-wall printing, the operational and aesthetic benefits are just undeniable. Seriously, think about vinyl for a second. Up close, visitors see visible dots, banding, or those awkward peeling seams, right? But direct-to-wall, it delivers photoreal fidelity at fine art levels, with gorgeous continuous edge-to-edge imagery. And presentation-wise, it shifts from cumbersome frames and that distracting glass glare to a completely frameless experience. The mural literally becomes the wall. But you know what the real absolute game changer is? It's the logistics. Instead of days of messy staging, direct-to-wall goes up in hours. And when the exhibit finally closes, you completely eliminate that absolute nightmare of stripping adhesive and patching drywall.
Now let's talk about the actual metrics that make this possible. Starting with a big one, 600 plus. This isn't just some technical spec we throw around. It is the absolute foundation of archival fidelity and, frankly, curatorial peace of mind. Printing at 600 plus dots per inch captures those fine gradients, the crisp typography, and all that subtle nuance that's totally invisible from a distance. It genuinely rivals fine art printing. An archival photograph printed at architectural scale is going to read with the exact same breathtaking clarity from 2 inches away as it does from all the way across the room.
And right on the heels of that is our second metric, and this one completely changes gallery operations. 5. Under 5 hours. That is literally how long it takes to install a typical single-wall exhibit mural. Just think about what that means for a bustling cultural space. You're achieving fine art archival fidelity, but drastically reducing your gallery downtime. There are no fumes, there's no curing time, and get this, the gallery can actually stay open around the work. It is an incredibly low disruption process.
Okay, Section 3. Archival print quality, preserving curatorial intent. High-end printing is really only as good as the source file you feed into it, right? Preserving your curatorial intent requires serious expert handling. I mean, if you just blow up screen-resolution digital images to the size of a massive gallery wall, they're going to fall apart visually. That's exactly why our consultative preprint process is absolutely critical. We're here to ensure proper file resolution, precise color space conversion, and rigorous upscaling. Before a single drop of ink even touches your wall, we lock in a scaled proof. This meticulous, hands-on preparation ensures that the curator's exact vision translates flawlessly into reality.
Which brings us to Section 4, the seamless installation process, executing without disruption.
Let's quickly walk through this precise, highly organized installation path just to show you how easily it fits into a really busy museum schedule. Step 1, we start with a thorough site survey and assessment. Step 2, the scaled proof review to officially lock in that intent. Step 3, surface prep. Then, Step 4, this is the magic moment, the single pass print, where we apply the imagery directly to the surface. And finally, Step 5, final inspection. Because this proprietary methodology is so incredibly clean and non-invasive, it could easily be scheduled between exhibitions or even during off hours without having to shut down your entire wing.
Finally, we arrive at Section 5, Managing Rotating Exhibitions, Planning the Exhibition Lifecycle.
Now, take a second and consider the sheer amount of waste, labor, and, let's be honest, frustration that gets completely eliminated during a changeover here. Just look at the legacy rotation cycle. When a show closes, your staff spends days stripping vinyl, scraping off stubborn adhesive residue, and patching chunks of torn drywall. It's expensive and it's exhausting, but with direct-to-wall rotation, when the exhibition closes, you simply paint over the mural cleanly with standard commercial paint. Bam! That's it. You are left with a pristine wall, instantly ready for the next installation. No stripping, no patching whatsoever.
Of course, delivering this level of capability requires deep regional expertise. East Coast Mural Pros provides this dedicated, elite service to museums and galleries all across New York, Vermont, and Massachusetts. And the ultimate takeaway here is absolute consistency. Because we bring the exact same specialized equipment, precise calibration, and expert team directly to your site, the color and quality are meticulously controlled. That holds true whether you're executing a single feature wall, a massive multi-gallery build, or ensuring a touring exhibition looks identical in Vermont as it did down in New York.
Which really brings us to a concept that fundamentally revolutionizes curatorial planning. This makes each wall a reusable canvas rather than a one-time surface. Just think about the impact of that for a second. You aren't just applying a temporary sticker that's going to be destroyed later. You're transforming your gallery's architecture into a sustainable, endlessly reusable asset. It simplifies your budget, it dramatically speeds up changeovers, and most importantly, it elevates the entire fine art experience.
So, I want to leave all the curators, directors, and exhibition designers watching this explainer with one final provocative question for your next layout. Is your gallery space a one-time surface, or is it a reusable canvas? The technology exists today to completely change how you utilize your walls without ever sacrificing an ounce of archival fidelity. When you're ready to step into the direct-to-wall revolution, reach out to East Coast Mural Pros. We'll assess your space and schedule a site visit. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and we'll see you on the next explainer.